Yeah, I was selling cattle to Wizard Whately, same as most folks hereabouts. See that tool house door swinging kinda listless and a stench like's the which kill you dead. Tain't near smelt nothing like it, 'cept near them Indian circles on the hills. Didn't ask about it, though. It don't pay to ask too much into Whately's doings, I always say.
Wilbur was growing up uncannily so that he looked like a boy of 10 as he entered his 4th year. He read avidly by himself but talked less than formally. A settled taciturnity absorbed him. The aversion displayed toward him by dogs had now become a matter of wide remark, and he was obliged to carry a pistol in order to traverse the countryside in safety. His occasional use of the weapon did not enhance his popularity amongst the owners of canine guardians.
As for Lavinia Whately,
callers would often find Lavinia alone on the ground floor of the house, while odd cries and footsteps resounded in the boarded-up second story. She would never tell what her father and the boy were doing up there, though once she turned pale and displayed an abnormal degree of fear when a jocular fish peddler tried the locked door leading to the stairway.
You stay away from there. Would-be there ain't for you. There ain't like you. He'd be for Wilbur. He'd be for him. You stay away. It's as from now, you gee whiz. You don't want to know it. It ain't for you. Not now. Not yet.
She was just acting crazy, screaming at me, just because I asked all about the noise. It was like they had some horse up there, damn big horse stomping around. Figured it was one of those cows Wizard Whately keeps buying. Probably cuts 'em up for his hellish rites. What kind of a man keeps a cow in his house? And the smell. Oh, Lord, and they say fish stink.
For a decade, the annals of the Whateleys sank indistinguishably into the general life of the morbid community of Dunwich.
Dunwich folk are never anxious to call the outside world's attention to themselves.
Then, in 1923...
When Wilbur was 10 and looked about 20, his grandfather noticed the growing number of whippoorwills that would come out of the cold spring glen to chirp under his window at night.
The whistle's just in tune with my breathing now, and I guess they're getting ready to catch my soul. You know it's a-going out, and don't calculate to miss it. You'll know, boys, after I'm gone, whether they get me or not. If they do, they'll keep us singing and laughing till break of day. If they don't, they'll kind of quiet down like. I expect them and the souls they hunt for have some pretty tough tussle sometimes.
On Lammas night, 1924, I was hastily summoned to Whately House. There I found old Whately in a very grave state, with a cardiac action and stertorous breathing that told of an end not far off. His shapeless albino daughter and oddly bearded grandson stood by the bed, whilst from the vacant abyss I knew to exist overhead there came a disquieting suggestion of rhythmical surging or lapping, as of waves on a level beach. I was chiefly disturbed by the chattering night birds outside, a seemingly limitless legion of whippoorwills that cried their endless message in repetitions. Repetitions timed diabolically to the wheezing gasps of the dying man. It was uncanny and very unnatural.
More space, Billy. More space soon. He grows, and that grows faster. He'll be ready to serve you soon, boy. Open up the gates to Yard Sutter, and with the long chant that you'll find on page 751 of the complete edition, and then put a match to the prison. Fire from earth can't burn it nohow.
Quiet! Mr. Whately, you really must try and be quiet.
Feed it regular, Willie. And mind the quantity. But don't let it grow too fast out of place. For if it bursts quarters or get out before you opens the yard sort of, you're all over and no use. Only them from the young can make it multiply and work. Only them the old ones, and he wants to come back. Mr. Whateley? Mr. Whateley?
Think back. Can't you hear him? They're gonna catch him.
Miss Whateley, please, please.
What? The birds have stopped?
They didn't get him. They didn't get him.
So passed Wizard Whately,
On Lammas night,
1924.
leaving all his possessions to his grandson Wilbur Whately. Mother, Lavinia Whately.
Father, unknown.
Boy, I was quite a scholar. All the time, writing off to strange places. Got letters back, too. Boston, Aachen, London, Chicago, even Paris, France. You'd not believe it, but some quality people visited out there. Bookline folk. Come to talk to old Wizard Whately's grandboy, Lavinia's dark brat. Never come more than once, though.
Kept up that building. Always a tearing out and redoing that old house. Kept buying cattle like his granddad. Kept having the same luck. A lot of that funny gold spent and not much to show for it. And he kept growing, too. In 1925, he were fully 6 3/4 feet tall. He were 12 and looked 25.
Oh, he hated his poor old mother, poor Lavinia. First her father a-dying, and then her boy turning on her. Used to go in the hills with him for them Whately doings. Finally told her she couldn't no more. But I seed her in 1926, right before she died. Whatever happened to her. She were right terrified of him by then.
There's more about him as I knows than I can tell you, Mamie. And nowadays, there's more what I know myself. I vowed to her God, I don't know what he wants, what he's a-trying to do.
That Halloween, the hill noises sounded louder than ever, and the fire burned on Sentinel Hill as usual.
But people paid more attention to the rhythmical screaming of vast flocks of unnaturally belated whippoorwills, which seemed to be assembled near the unlighted Whately farmhouse.
Their pandemonic cachinnation filled the countryside. Not until dawn did they finally quiet down and hurry southward, where they were fully a month overdue. What this meant, no one knew for certain.
But poor Lavinia Whately, the twisted albino, was never seen again.
Wilbur never said a thing about his ma. Didn't seem right to ask him about her either. Just kept to working on that old house, ripping the insides out. Moved himself from the old crumbly books of his out of one of the sheds. House was totally boarded up by then. That was the summer of 1927. He were more than 7 feet tall by then. That's when he got to looking so worried and tremulous. That's when he started sending out whole parcels of letters all over the world.
Edition. Open up the gates with the long chant that you'll find on page 751 of the complete edition. The complete edition.
The Whitney Library, Harvard University, to Mr. Wilbur Whately, Dunwich, Massachusetts. Mr. Whately, I regret to inform you that we will be unable to supply you with the volume you have requested. While your credentials are totally in order, I am certain that you will understand our reticence to comply with your request due to the nature of the book in question.
Page 751 of the
Comme de Bibliothèque Nationale par France, and de Monsieur Wilbur Whately, Whately House, Dunwich, USA. Monsieur Whately, it is not the policy of the Bibliothèque Nationale to lend out copies of rare books, especially when they must be shipped overseas. I am sure that you will see the correctness of this procedure in the light of the rarity of the volume you seek. Should you